In this video, we'll be looking at phase shift. Now, I'd like to use my graphing calculator to compare the graphs of these equations, y equals sine x, y equals sine of the quantity x plus 45, and y equals the sine of the quantity x minus 60. Alright, so I have my calculator set on degrees, and it's already been zoomed to trig. So my first one, y equals sine x. If you've not had any experience with graphing calculators, let me explain what we're seeing here. I'm going to compare these, I'm going to look at one period. So for the sine x, which is our first one here, the sine period, I'm going to have it start here at the origin, so where it crosses the axis, and then it goes up and then crosses the axis again right here, and then goes down and crosses the axis. Then this is the end of that period. So I'm going to examine these equations by looking at one period. If I trace here, I have it starting at 0, 0, and then it crosses the axis again at 180 degrees, and then it ends, that one period ends at 360 degrees. So let me sketch this. So this is just one period. This was 180. Also, I want you to notice that the amplitude is 1. If we traced and brought this back to this minimum point right here, it would be at -1, and the angle is 270. So notice that it hits the axis or hits a max or a min at the quadrantal angles. So this one hit a value of 1 when the angle is 90 degrees. So when we're sketching our trig functions, we need to divide our period into 4 parts to represent the quadrantal angles. Okay, so let's go back and we'll keep this 1. We'll keep the sine here, and let's graph the sine x plus 45. Alright, now remember the basic sine curve started at the origin. So this one is starting here. Let me turn off my So this starting point right here, where it starts heading upward, is at x equal -45. If we do a trace, you can see that we shifted our whole curve left 45 degrees. And then also let me point out that it ends at 3:15. Trace that. So the period started at -45 and ends at 3:15. So all of those major points shifted to the left 45 degrees. So if we went ahead and made a conjecture about this one, we would say that it's going to shift to the right 60. And let me go ahead and enter that. So our beginning of our period is right here. And if we trace, we can see that it's at a positive 60. So it should end at whatever 360 plus 60 is, so 420. Yep. So there's the end of it at 420 degrees. So the middle of our period was at 180. So if we add 60 onto that, that's 240. That would be where my middle is now. So we would say then on this one that we have a phase shift. Left 45 degrees, or a phase, sometimes it's called a phase angle. -45. On this one, we would say we have a phase shift right 60. It's important to remember that's just opposite of what you think when you see a negative here. So x minus 60 has a phase shift to the right 60 degrees, or we could say we have a phase angle of positive 60.